blending of two worlds, of that one of pop music and the other is of classical music. And in no way would claim to call myself a composer yet, but it's the idea of taking, a lot of layers. I'm talking about more of dimension and writing for 8 or 9 parts that kind of fit together. So I think that's a really interesting thing, instead of how you use chords, basically. And so there's 5 of us, and how many things can 5 people do? The groups that really inspired me in the band early on was Godspeed You Black Emperor. It was one of the bands that I first heard, and it struck me that, wow, these guys are not writing songs. They're creating atmosphere and moods. Sigur Rós as well has that same quality, where they're not trying to write a pop song. It's about a vibe. And so I think that kind of has always kind of been with us. It's different from pop song in the sense that it's like a lot of instrumental music as well, that it leaves the listener to participate more. You see what I mean? It's more of a, they can kind of conjure up the setting in place and participate with it and sort of meditation. Where sometimes a pop song it's very direct, I'm telling you this, my heart's been broken, or whatever the case may be. And it's very direct, and I think that's why pop music is so popular. But I think the blending of those two things are very interesting. The whole Radiohead thing was truly amazing. I mean, if I would have known, being in 8th grade and hearing the Bends for the first time, and ended up becoming my favorite band and still is, and I'd be playing with them, it was surreal, like for 20 shows we were just kids, we just got to open up for our favorite band, and a band that's been doing this for 20 years or 25 years for all the right reasons. And it shows in their music, that it shows that they continue to progress because they have the right attitude about art, and they do it for the art, and it's amazing. So I think, being around a wise old band like that has, really inspired us to try to become, in our own way, more conscious. Dear in the headlights, there goes a weaker one. The thing is about Tamer Animals, my very good friend wrote a book of poems, and he handed it to me, and the copy of it, the name of it was called Tamer Animals, and I instantly called him up and I said, I have to, you have to let me use that. It's everything, what we were discussing in the record of us as humans, grappling with our environment and it with us. I went home and wrote the song immediately, and so, but it just said a lot to me. It kind of embodied the whole record. All living things have the same fate, and sometimes I think as humans there's this disconnect of us as being an animal. We're so technologically advanced, but sometimes we forget that we are a species on this earth. Dust Bowl 3 is very kind of close to us because on one part it's about the Oklahoma Dust Bowl, and it made sense because it was a time where people were unaware of what they were doing to their environment. And so I thought that also, had a lot of modern context too of us not being aware of our industry as well, and not using the earth properly. But then there's also a real human element to it, and us as people just trying to get by. To the dark. I'm most proud about, I think, who we've become as people. We've been a band for 10 years, and we really like each other still. There's a lot of love in our group, and I think that says a lot, because I think we are proud about the record that we put out, and so we want to do it every night, and so there's that. That's what's kept us going for 2 years, on the road.